Alright, so we're taking us a little shower right here, getting fresh and clean so we can head back to the ACC. And we need to deploy to Africa to take the fight to those funky suckers over there at Cypher. Still looking sexy in the sneaky suit though. You gotta admit that. Big boss, where is it well?
This is P1 on station at LZ.
It's not the same every time I come back to Mother Base and I don't see my boy Didi. I get to see my boy Didi in these missions and he puts in that work though.
Gaining altitude.
Mission list
Boss, I've been meaning to tell
updated.
you something. Our old friend Zero hasn't been seen in public since you left the States. That was over 10 years ago now. You suspected he was responsible for the accident at your base in the Caribbean. But at that point, Zero was already bedridden. So it never felt right to me that Zero gave the order. Now that I've seen the man Emmerich was working for, I'm sure he didn't. I know that man. He was our old friend's XO. A man without a face. Not one you want to look at anyway. Skullface. He's the one who destroyed your base 9 years ago. The unit he commands, XOF, was Cypher's strike force. But he's since split from Zero and used XOF to usurp control over Cypher itself. In other words, the Cypher we're hunting isn't Zero. Beyond Zero is a void that's even darker. Skullface.
We're definitely gonna get some revenge on that motherfucker for what he did to the old Mother Base back in the Caribbean. So let's claim these rewards real quick before we set out for another mission. We're sitting on top of 800,000 GMP, so let's see what we can do with these base facilities first. Let's see if we can expand Mother Base, and we can with the combat unit, the intel team, and the medical team.
Commencing platform construction.
That's the command platform expanded. Let's see if we can get this intel team expanded as well.
Commencing platform construction.
And that's the only two that we can get for right now. We're looking good on that front. Nothing to do with databases or staff management. So let's see what we can develop right here.
Please specify a project.
Got a whole lot of lethal weapons that don't really use it. Actually, we have a non-lethal assault rifle. I'm gonna get that started with some development. Put some GMP towards that. Got a couple of machine guns. Am I ever gonna use a machine gun? I think there's gonna come a mission where I'm just gonna have to go nuclear and start killing motherfuckers. So maybe that's gonna come in handy later on. Or if I just decide to change up my strategy. But for right now, we're gonna stay. I spent all my GMP on stealth camouflage. I just saw it, and I only got 1100 GMP left. So let's see what else we need to do right here. I'm probably going to be into the red as soon as I deploy for the next mission. We also got some cassette tapes that we need to listen to. I see a yellow cassette tape. That denotes an important cassette tape that we definitely need to listen to. Let's see what we can get as far as GMP on some of these dispatch missions, because I damn sure need it after spending it without even thinking on that damn stealth camouflage. Let me customize this unit and send them out. Death Dingo. Death Dingo. Boy's name is Death Dingo.
Unit dispatched.
We need another unit to send out. That was a 40,000 GMP. The rest of these are 20,000 GMP. Let's get rid of some of these helmets. These funky suckers with these funky helmets on. Let's get rid of those. Those are no bueno.
Caution, rain approaching. Unit dispatched.
Alright, so we got 295 success probability missions in the combat deployment. Let's see what these cassette tapes are all about. I got 10 tapes to listen to. Questioning Huey, Africa Today, Intel on Africa, before we deploy there. So, we just captured Huey and brought him back to Diamond Dogs. Let's see what's going on with Huey.
It wasn't just Cypher. Back in the Caribbean, every eye in the world was turned on us. A private army, just a bunch of guys with guns, in possession of a nuke? Why wouldn't they be uncomfortable?
And that's why you made sure the inspection happened.
Well, I thought our best move was to prove to the UN through the IAEA that we had no nuke. Of course, I was against us having it in the first place, but that was Snake's decision.
The boss wasn't responsible.
Well, don't get me wrong, I still believed in Snake. I thought I was making the best decision for all of us, that's all. I figured we should get a third party to exonerate us before proof of the nuke did get out. And who better to do that than an organization with international authority?
So the truth is, you took it upon yourself to agree to an inspection arranged by the UN. Only the inspection was a ruse, and Cypher's strike force, XOF, showed up instead.
I had no idea that would happen.
Enough bullshit.
Oh, sure, like I could have known. You know, I was just trying to prove our innocence to the world. What's wrong with that?
We're not interested in the excuses you've thought up. The truth is objective.
Just see it from my point of view.
You led XOF to the control tower. They seized it, giving them complete control over the base. Moments later, they detonated C4 on the strut legs. Anyone who'd managed to survive was hunted down by the assault force and their choppers.
You can't believe I did that on purpose.
That was the end of Mother Base. But it wasn't the end for you.
How can you... Look, think about it. I lost something too. I built Zeke and it got buried underwater. I am a victim.
That raises the big questions. Why were you the only one spared? You got away without a scratch. Why did Strangelove leave the base on the eve of the inspection? You two were close.
Strangelove?
And how did you manage to build something that surpasses Zeke in every way? Because you did everything they told you. You're the only one who didn't lose a thing. That is the truth.
I was taken away against my will. Skullface forced me to do his research these past 9 years. He used me. I lost 9 years.
9 years. We all lost 9 years. It wasn't just you.
I suppose blaming me makes you feel better, does it? But who's gonna give me back all the time I lost?
You're not getting anything back.
You're not a victim here, Emmerich. You're the perpetrator.
I didn't know anything.
Nobody can back that up.
Yeah, all the evidence is at the bottom of the ocean.
You know the hardest man to break. The type who's fooling himself. That takes time. It's easier to live a convenient lie than a painful truth. Is that the peace you've chosen, Doc?
I'm not lying.
Of course. Just let me check one or two things. On that day, you were in the control tower with them. Lucky you. That's how you got out unscathed. And you escaped on one of their choppers. Only you, right before the base went under.
They had me blindfolded the whole time. I've never been so scared. The whole flight, I thought they'd kill me. But thinking of you kept me going. My comrades, all the way.
And?
There was a plane journey, and then we traveled by road. When they finally took off the blindfold, I was in kind of a warehouse, on the floor. Afghanistan, it was that research lab. I couldn't believe they'd taken me halfway around the world. And soon enough, he came.
Skullface.
He's the one who's really behind that Mother Base attack. He forced me into that research.
What kind of research?
He told me to build a bipedal walking tank for the Soviet Union. Like Peace Walker. A system that could fire an ICBM-class nuclear weapon. That's how the Sahelanthropus project got started.
Sahelanthropus.
Those AI weapons I'd made in Costa Rica were like toys by comparison. A whole world apart from reptilian four-legged crawling and that ridiculous hunched-over bipedal waddling. My design evolved to the dawn of mankind. Sahelanthropus, the first steps towards humanity. An upright bipedal weapon system. Originally, Sahelanthropus was going to be a manned weapons platform. I designed a cockpit in its head, and I planned to fill it with water as a buffering agent.
Like how Paz modified Zeke for human control.
Don't compare me to some amateur. I designed it for human control from the beginning. The problem was miniaturizing the posture control AI. You remember the reptile pod?
The AI that controlled your unmanned weapons.
Attaching it externally makes it vulnerable, so this time I wanted it beneath the armor. Meaning I had to make the AI smaller. I got it down to less than 1/10 the size without any loss in computation speed. But it was still too big for the cockpit. There wasn't enough room for the pilot. If I made the head bigger, its body would have to be bigger to support it. Too big to be practical. In the end, human piloting was taken off the table. I tested a remote control system too, but there was the time lag and I wasn't satisfied with its precision either. Plus, it would be useless if the enemy jammed it. So next, I went back to trying an AI-only system. To do that, I had the AI pods recovered from Nicaragua. This was a hybrid AI, a combination of Peace Walker's reptile and mammal pods. The only AIs that had ever successfully operated an unmanned nuclear weapon system.
Really? You'd need some help to get that working. Expert help. Did you work with someone?
I worked alone.
You did that yourself?
Well, that's the thing. The AI didn't pan out in the end either. But I did finally get Sahelanthropus walking by folding over its upper body to lower its center of gravity. The first upright bipedal locomotive weapon system in the history of mankind. I guess, technically it falls into the anthropoid ape category.
I don't see the benefit of having it stand taller.
On terrain with significant differences in elevation like Afghanistan, you need a body that's vertically adaptable. That also lets it attack from long range while using mountain ridges for cover. So, making it walk upright was the most important factor in giving it superior height capability. As the name suggests, that was the whole point of Sahelanthropus. But I was being pushed for results. Having the AI mounted externally would have been the fastest way to get it working. I just needed more data so it could maintain its balance. But Skullface refused to wait. He dismissed the idea of AI control and took Sahelanthropus away from me before I could finish it.
But it was walking when it came after you.
That's just it. I don't understand how Skullface got it to move upright, without a pilot or an AI. And walking at that speed, too. It's beyond anything I could have imagined. This is like the Wright brothers making it to the moon. I'm just as clueless as you are.
So this Sahelanthropus, where is it now?
I have no idea. All my experiments took place at that cave. I've never seen it anywhere else. Besides, it's still just an incomplete prototype at this point, and nothing but a paper tiger. Even if it can walk, it's far from being a viable weapons platform. It wouldn't be useful in actual battle.
Emmerich will remain here at Mother Base for now, but not as a member of Diamond Dogs. I still don't trust him. That work for you?
Fine by me. He can't be allowed any contact with staff either.
Yeah. A lot of the guys would love some payback for 9 years ago. We still need him alive. But we have to restrict his movements. He can only go where we tell him. And of course, the interrogations will continue. He worked for that skull bastard for nearly a decade. He still has more to tell us.
How long are we gonna press him?
If our investigation shows he really had nothing to do with the attack, we'll reconsider his place here. But I don't expect that to happen. Remember that water tank-shaped object in Emmerich's lab in the Soviet base camp? The thing that started talking to you like a possessed answering machine. That was a pod built for housing the AI used to control unmanned weapons. You remember, back in '74 in Costa Rica. It was in those machines you fought there. They were designated Pupa, Chrysalis, Cocoon, and Basilisk, and each of them was fitted with an AI unit called a reptile pod. Emmerich created it. It mainly handled the machine's posture control and autonomous behavior. But the Basilisk, aka Peace Walker, also featured a second AI pod. That one was called the Mammal Pod, and it was created by Dr. Strangelove. She tried to recreate the boss's personality through the Mammal Pod, but you pulled out its memory boards. That's when it transferred its own functions to its reptile pod. Just like a human brain compensating for damage by using the remaining healthy parts. The result was a unique entity, a hybrid of the reptile and the mammal. It sank to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua with Peace Walker. But apparently they salvaged it and transported it to that lab. Don't let it deceive you, Snake. It may sound like the boss, but it has neither a personality nor a will. Like Emmerich says, it's just a machine.
That's all the intel that we can gain out of the interrogation of Huey. Let's gain some intel on Africa today.
Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over.
What do you mean?
Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on. Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes.
A warning?
Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that.
I never said any of that.
The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did, and stand up to Cypher.
Of all the stupid things you could do.
They'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business.
Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Still, don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player. Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former SADF soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action, and we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them. Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA, But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days shooting junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West. On top of that, they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force. So don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene River in particular. It's a microcosm of a problem that stretches all across Africa. There's a civil war going on in Angola, fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote regions. With all the trouble elsewhere keeping their hands full, neither government has control over their side of the border. They depend on militias and PFs, as do the rebels. Government forces, guerrillas, militants, groups of all shapes and sizes hawk whatever resources they can to hire PFs. Conflict brings PFs. PFs expand the war zone, and more conflicts erupt in a continuous chain reaction. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could grow by leaps and bounds.
Alright, so we learned about the status of Africa today. So let's see what missions we can tackle right here. I'm kind of low on GMP, so I'm trying to look for a quick side op
Development complete.
that can give me some GMP really fast without me needing to spend too much GMP. And it doesn't look like I have too many of those. I could probably go and get a highly skilled soldier, get some quick GMP, but I don't think that's going to be worth it. So let's see what we're looking at with these main apps. I still got to do this vehicle mission in Afghanistan.
Development complete.
At least the stealth camo is done. But we do have this new mission in Africa. We have learned a lot about Africa. So let's get this started right here. Let's upgrade our weapons. Get my boy Didi coming in. That boy is booty naked right now, but we're gonna have to go with that. And all our weapons and our items are looking good. Let me see if I can get my stealth camouflage equipped. Oh, it must be in the items. That's gonna have to be a side ops item because it restricts my mission completion rank to an A or below. If I'd known that, I might have saved some GMP and developed that later. Damn. Alright, so we're gonna have to go without the stealth camo. Let's head to Africa.
Deploying.
Angola's Mfinda oil field, upstream from the landing point. A spill has covered the whole area and crude. A pipeline that crosses the Munene River failed, and now the shore's a mess. Not to mention the villages downstream have no drinking water. The oil runs to the pipeline from that facility. Taking it out should end the leak. The client this time is an environmental NGO. Destroy the facility. Stop that leak. This may seem like straight-up philanthropy, but there's another reason we agreed to it. The Mfinda oil field was outdated, abandoned. Then the rebel group UNITA moved in, taking it upon themselves to kickstart operations. UNITA's been rapidly modernizing its arsenal. Rumor has it someone's been selling them U.S. military hardware. Intel's analysis suggests the broker's a front company, Cyphers. Keeping tabs on UNITA can tell us who's pulling its strings. on to tracking down Skullface. And Cypher with him. Good luck, boss. First, make your way to the oil facility. It's to the north, past Walla Yamasa. The village is currently occupied by UNITA, so stay sharp.
Alright, so we got an outpost past Walla Yamasa, and then we got a straight line to Mfinda oil field with no other outposts in between. Just a giant patch of land. Hopefully there's no suckers patrolling this road. But one thing I did not do at the start of the mission was go over the briefing tape for this mission. So let's see what that's all about.
Boss, this contract comes out of Angola. That's right, Central Africa, where Emmerich claimed they were working on a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. There's been a massive oil spill from Mfinda oil field. It's flowing into the river and contaminating the water supply. An environmental NGO has asked us to stop the spill by destroying the facility. Environmental activism isn't exactly our line of work, but it's not that simple either. The group operating the oil facility and causing the spill is the rebel group UNITA. And word has it that UNITA is getting supplied with U.S. military weapons. That sounds to me like Cypher's pulling their strings. Boss, it's time to give Cypher a little surprise.
So another thing I want to do is go over the intel radio for each of these targets.
The relay station from Mfinda oil field. They've cranked up the old machinery despite it being much too decrepit to run. That led to the oil spill, which is contaminating the river. To stop the spill, we need to shut down the oil transfer pump and destroy the oily water separator tank. That's one of the targets, the oily water separator tank. It filters impurities from the oil, making it the backbone of the whole facility. Destroy this, and I'll have no way to start the facility up again. It's built pretty tough, so you'll need explosives to take it out. However, the tank is highly pressurized. There'll be quite a bang when it goes up. Make sure you keep your distance. That's one of the targets, the oil transfer pump. We don't have a precise location. You'll have to search for it on-site. Stop this pump, and you stop the flow of oil. There should be an emergency stop button next to the pump. All you have to do is hit it.
I didn't bring a rocket launcher with me, but I have my C4 on all the time in every mission, so we should be good to destroy that oil pump. Let's go, Dee Dee. Let's get this mission started.
The war industry we started has taken a pretty crooked course these past 9 years. With no other options, soldiers have become dogs of war, sent to conflict zones as private forces, or PFs. Guys we fought alongside are dying all around the globe for no reason. No banner, but it's how they survive. The demand for PFs here in Africa is especially high. Cold War standoffs, resource exploitation, tribal clashes. What's big business for developed countries has only brought conflict here. That mess you're standing in is just the latest example. It's digitalis. It's toxic, but it can also be used as medicine. You've arrived at Masa Village. It's been turned into a supply hub for UNITA, meaning it'll be stocked with weapons and resources. Should be a thing or two that'll come in handy. Don't be shy. They deserve to be in better hands.
Alright, so I'm up here, just getting the lay of the land. We also got a quick travel point that I want to put a marker at, so I can open up this little village as a point of travel in the future. I guess these are the resources.
Marker removed.
It's already got a marker on it. I don't need to put a second one on top of it. Alright, so we're looking good right here. Got this little area scouted out. Let's get this mission started. Like I did in the previous missions, I'm going to try to avoid enemies that I don't need to get in combat with to save my tranquilizer and my suppressor. And to generally do a better job in these missions. I find that the more that I sneak around enemies instead of engaging every single one of them, the better I do.
Peach. The shape of its petals gives it the nickname the pincushion. It's used in local traditional medicine as a pain reliever and tranquilizer.
Although I do want to kidnap that dude with that B mark on top of his head because he's got that A+ rank in the combat unit. So let me see if I can kidnap him real quick.
Analysis complete.
Children. Child soldiers. Children there are abducted and trained to be soldiers. They're only taught to fight. And one day they grow up and teach the next generation the same way.
Caution.
With a gun in his
Rain
hands, a kid is as
approaching.
dangerous as any adult. Only they don't know a thing about right and wrong. Boss, do not hurt any child soldiers. If you do, the mission is over.
That's some bullshit. If they point a gun at me, I'm pointing the gun right back at them.
That container's filled with raw materials. Looks like they're using those colored bands on the outside to tell the contents apart. Whatever's in them, they'll come in handy somehow for Diamond Dogs.
This boy over here is peeking way too hard, getting way too curious.
Mother base is now in the red.
Aw, shit. Hopefully those combat deployment missions end soon so I can get that GMP back. I don't want people leaving my base because we're in the red.
You gotta extract him.
Definitely gonna get this motherfucker with all them skills that pay the bills.
You have arrived at your destination.
I said I wanted to go and unlock the quick travel point, but right now
Enemy presence detected. The map has
I'm
been
gonna try to keep
updated.
moving forward instead of
He's
going
coming
back
too.
all the way over there.
Roger that.
And possibly having an encounter with those enemies over there. So we're gonna keep it moving to the side right here. You don't see nothing. Better not be one of them little nappy-headed. Let me stop. It better not be one of them children looking at me. 'Cause they might get murked. I ain't playing no games.
Rain. Sound of rainfall should help to mask your footsteps.
Analysis complete.
Alright, so we're moving pretty well through this village right here. Avoided most of the suckers. Mask my footsteps. I should be able to run up on this dude.
The PF soldiers are speaking Afrikaans, an official language of the Republic of South Africa. Boss, we're gonna need someone with the Afrikaans interpreter skill to understand what they're saying. We'll look into it here, but for now, you'll just have to make do without one.
Sun will set shortly.
Alright, so let's get my GMP
Subject
back.
on board. Leave the rest to us.
Since conditions on Mother Base have worsened. There we go, we're back out of the red. Got some volunteers. We're gonna need this vehicle right here to get to the oil field. And I'm gonna try to avoid this little outpost by the A marker.
You've made it past the village. Continue heading for the oil facility.
Enemy
It's
presence
located
detected.
upriver.
The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother base.
We also got some GMP from the combat unit. Watch out, little animal. Get the hell out the way.
The Mfinda oil field is the property of Saner, South African Natural Resources. Saner drills oil wells wherever they can throughout that region. And when the oil dries up, they abandon the facility. Then it's only a matter of time before the aging equipment starts leaking crude. That means United's takeover is the perfect cover for Saner. Now they can blame the spill on a bunch of oil thieves. However you look at it, This ain't as far from squeaky clean.
I was almost on 2 wheels in this damn car. I almost went up on my damn front. On the bumper. This car is crazy. What the hell am I driving right here? Alright, so we're pretty close to the oil field.
Detected. The map has been updated.
Enemies are being detected, so we're gonna go right here on foot. Let's kidnap this vehicle from other base and keep it moving.
You have arrived at your
There it is.
destination.
The oil facility. To stop the leak, you need to shut down the oil transfer pump and destroy the
Analysis
oily
complete.
water separator
Marker
tank.
placed.
The details are on your iDroid.
Enemy presence detected. The map
That's
has
the
been,
oily
map
water
has been
separator tank.
updated.
One of the targets. Take it out.
I probably didn't even need to put that marker up there on that building, but that's the entrance point to get into the place. Shut down the pump. The tank has already been marked, and it's a pretty big target as is, so I don't need to mark it again.
Analysis complete.
Let's see if we can sneak in. I don't see any way to climb up, and I don't want to go over there by that guard tower. I think I found my way in. I got all kind of nasty oil water all up in my face. I love my boy Didi. Got my back covered from all kind of angles. This boy is pretty close on the other side, so let me not fall to him right away.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Are they coming my way? They look
Analysis
curious.
complete. Analysis complete. Clouds approaching.
Alright, so the decoy held their attention. These guys are pretty far off. They're still looking at me though. One's got a helmet, the other one doesn't. Alright, so it looks like they're coming my way too. Let me grab you and move you. They'll come over here and see the decoy, and I can trank both of them. Hopefully this boy down there stays asleep, because it's been a while. I'm doing my little thing. I love this decoy in this game, boy. Ooh, he puts in work for me.
Analysis complete.
They are all around me. This is no bueno. This boy looks like he's coming my way.
Afrikaans is the lingua franca for mercs in that area. If you're going to get any information from interrogations, you'll need an interpreter.
Alright, so you gotta go quickly because you're gonna wake up from that stun fairly soon. Come on, sucker. They are all looking at me. Why are you looking at me from all the way over there? At least that's gonna move him away from the door, though. and it'll be a while before he gets here. These boys are moving slow as shit, and I've got like 8 of them down. A Fulton work is gonna have to be fast. Alright, let's get these assholes up out of here before this boy gets over here and gets too curious.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
I'm trying to destroy my decoy because I want to move from this area,
He's coming too. Roger that.
but I don't want him to see it after I've left it, just like in the last mission that I did. And then he'll call a caution phase because of signs of enemy presence. So we're just gonna get rid of the decoy, my evidence of being here. Take this boy out, kidnap him, and keep him moving. Still a guy on the top by that damn doorway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set some C4 in this damn tank, and then keep it moving to the doorway.
You gotta extract him.
Then we can blow it and get the hell up out of here.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Destroy that separator tank. You'll need to use explosives. Got any C4? Alright, you planted the C4. Don't set it off until you're at a safe distance.
Alright, so that's my cue to get the hell up out of here. I'm gonna see if I can make my way up to this door before I blow it up. Where did you come from? That could have been a problem. That could have been a no bueno problem.
He's coming too. Roger that.
I think I see a way to get up.
You're away from the C4.
Using
Any
the
sign of
road
the
to the
enemy?
destination.
Be sure to time the explosion carefully.
Hopefully this boy come around the corner doesn't see this Fulton. We got one suck on top of me going right to that doorway.
You gotta extract him.
Gotta be careful going up that way. This boy sees something that he's not supposed to be seeing. That's me. So let's see if we can juke and drive around him. Fuck. Dude was right on top of me. Damn, he saw it.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Got some more enemies. Let's get this boy up out of here. Saving the tranks. Now let's get up to this building. Get this second dude up out of here. We should be able to complete this mission. It's too bad I don't have a translator because I know I'm going to be missing some goodies.
He's coming too.
But we're going to get up in and out of this mission real quick. I think we're pretty clear to sprint. Move fast and get this boy up out of here.
You have arrived at your destination.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. There's the transfer pump control room. The emergency stop button is probably inside it. Bodies? Why? Oil transfer
Extraction
pump shut-off
arrived at
confirmed.
Mother Base.
Next, destroy the oily water separator tank. That'll
Development
ensure they
project
can never
has
use
been
the
added.
facility again.
Alright, so before I destroy the tank, I'm getting the hell up out of this area. Well, at least getting up out the minefield.
Marker
So I'm going to
placed.
go out the way I came in. And I can destroy the tank once I'm outside the base and avoid an enemy combat alert. And I don't want to be in the base when they get all suspicious and shit, so let me get the hell up out of here. What the hell is going on with these fucking bodies? Looks like the intel team is spotting some threats for me. Can't go out that way though. We got a problem. Alright, so it looks like we're outside the perimeter. We are looking good right here. Just in and out, just like that. Solo sneaking. Not solo sneaking mode. I got my boy Didi at my side. But we're at a comfortable distance right here.
You have arrived at your
Let's blow this
destination.
motherfucker up.
You destroyed the separator tank. Objectives complete.
Mission
Those
info
security
has
will be
been
tighter
updated.
after that explosion. Get out of there ASAP.
Just gotta move forward a little bit. To get out of the mission hot zone. Oh, the mission hot zone is all the way, and I hit the edge of the world, so I can't go this way. Where did I leave that truck at? We just gotta keep moving and grooving this way. I actually faulted the truck, that's right. Let's see if I can call that bad boy in, so we can drive out of the mission hot zone.
Police supplies requested.
Actually could have called D-Horse instead of the goddamn truck, but it is what it is. Me and my boy DD are gonna go for a ride.
Good dog.
Vehicle drop complete.
What you screaming for, sucker? Alright, let's get the hell up out of here now. That was a mission task, really? The fuck? Should I kidnap these fucking horses over here? I don't want to get too close to this outpost over here. Looks like we're getting close to the outline of the mission area.
Exfiltrated hot
That's it.
zone.
You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss.
Alright, so that's how I did it. Perfect stealth. Nobody saw what the hell happened. I was in and out like a motherfucking ghost.
Boss, we took another look into Saner, the owner of the oil field. They were behind what happened. They hired the PF, not United. They restarted the facility all the while pretending they were the victims. One other thing. Saner's Johannesburg head office is just a room in a multi-tenant building. Company's essentially non-existent. 3 years ago, that investment fund stepped in and started gutting it through a series of mergers and sell-offs. And get this, the fund itself no longer exists either. It's a shell corporation, meaning someone is just using Saner's name from the shadows. But what about those strange corpses? Just what the hell were they doing over there? Hey! Snake! I've customized a walker gear just for you. It features a silent running system, great for infiltration missions, and you can also summon it to your location. I've taken the liberty of calling it the D-Walker. It's armed with a suppressed tranquilizer gun. If you want to add other weaponry or upgrade the chassis, give the order from your iDroid.
Side ops list
Boss,
updated.
I've updated the mission
Mission list
We received a
updated.
new job offer. It doesn't seem connected to Cypher or Skullface at all. But if it goes well, we may get an Afrikaans interpreter. The details are on your iDroid.
Alright, so let's see what that's all about, because we definitely need that interpreter to get our extraction and our intel work going. So we got a bunch of cassette tapes we also need to go over. Let me see what this mission list
Please
is all about.
select a mission.
Okay, so that's another main op where we get the Afrikaans interpreter. Let me see what we got as far as side ops. If there's any nearby, we can do those and then deploy and then go back to the ACC to go over these tapes as well. That one's actually pretty close nearby. And the rest of these are in Afghanistan. There's one right here. It's not as close by as the legendary gunsmith. Alright, so let's go extract this legendary gunsmith. Let me mark it on my radar real quick.
Marker placed.
I'm gonna avoid this first outpost. We're gonna extract this gunsmith and then head back to the ACC. Gotta avoid the tree first. Goddamn. I talk about avoiding the entire outpost. I can't even avoid a goddamn tree.
Updated.
Alright, so we're back in this first village. How the fuck did that happen? This little vehicle is funky. Every time I hit the brake, after going at any speed, this shit almost winds up on its bumper. Alright, so Dee Dee is spotting some enemies for me. I think we need to get in closer so we can spot this legendary gunsmith.
Complete.
There he goes. He's up that way. I don't have a lot of tranquilizer from the last mission, so this might not be the best strategy of going into this mission under-equipped,
Enemy presence
rather than
detected.
coming in from the
The map
ACC,
has
but we're gonna
been
see what we can
updated.
do right here. We're gonna have to work our other offense. This boy is rolling
That's
deep.
the target.
Alright, it's a little bit of decoy smoke grenade action. Probably could have did the smoke grenade without the decoy.
Silo completed.
He's coming too.
Extraction
Roger that.
arrived at Mother Base.
I heard this music tape up in here. Let me grab these resources and
gotta
this music
extract
tape.
him.
There's a music tape nearby. I can definitely hear it still. This isn't good. It's got to be in this building right here. Alright, so let's grab these materials and these diamonds and get the hell up out of here. Need to get back.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Fucking decoy is still there. I need to get back to the ACC. Accidentally shot the unsuppressed bullet. Oh, here we go. This is a problem. Alright, so we have no more Fultons. We need to call in a helicopter to get the hell up out of here.
Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Let me see if I can sneak my way around the long way. I've used my last Fulton. I probably could have Fultoned out of here on another container, but I don't see any. I want to see what's up in this damn ship. It was way too hollowed out and established as some kind of fort and a base, or some kind of place with some goodies for me to just avoid it like that. Let's see what we got up in here.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Alright, so there's nothing else in this
Helicopter
area.
has arrived.
Let me see if I can get the hell up out of here. Might be someone on top first, though. Ain't shit up top. Alright, so beside the diamonds, this place was pretty worthless. Alright, I think I'm good to sprint to get the hell up out of here. Most of the guys in front of me are now behind me. So we're gonna see if we can make our way over here to Pequod. There's a guy on top of me? You little sucker? What are you even doing up here?
Hold him off!
I don't want to shoot my gun just yet.
What?
DD. DD. That boy just bumped him and kept him moving.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Alright, so it's pretty cool that you can already see the impact that that last mission has had. Because last time we were here, the oil was all up in the water, and now you can see it's cleared out and it's looking very good right now.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Side ops list
Boss, that
updated.
man you picked up in Walla Yamasa is a top-notch gunsmith. We got plenty of work for him. But it turns out that he's just the apprentice of a so-called legendary gunsmith. Now, if this legendary gunsmith is all he's cracked up to be, we could really use him on our side. The apprentice gave us the whereabouts of his master. If you've got the time, go and grab him. I've added the details to your side ops list.
Extract the legendary gunsmith again. Again, I didn't get the motherfucker the first time. So that's gonna be a mission that we need to do next. That guy seems like he's of some importance. Even his apprentice is pretty good. So we're gonna go back to Mother Base, see what's going on over there. I said I've gotta make it a point to go back to Mother Base as often as possible. So let's do that right now.
Please select a landing zone heading to Mother Base.
Mother Base is so sexy. It does look like a little slice of heaven out in the middle of the ocean. So we're gonna get some morale from these boys. Nice to see you, fellas. Nice to see you.
Welcome back, boss.
Alright, so it doesn't look like anything new has happened right here at Mother Base. So this is a good point to call it an end for this part. We did one side up. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You're supposed to be up, ready to whoop some ass. What the hell are you talking about? But this is a good point to call it an end for this part. We did a whole lot as far as main ops, a couple of side ops. So we're looking good right here. Next part, we'll go after that legendary gunsmith, and eventually I'll get that vehicle mission in Afghanistan done. We still got a whole lot of activities in Afghanistan to do as well. So we got a whole lot on our plate, and we will tackle it starting in the next part. My boy Didi.
Good dog.